Welcome back, everybody. Glad you all could be here. I'm certainly excited. We're going to get into the second half of Siege here. I took some medication. I'm going to make this headache go away because for some reason I've had a headache for like the past 3 hours. So we're going to make that go away and we're going to make it awesome. Let's go ahead and turn on Discord and see how everybody's been doing.
I was watching it. I was so fucking sad.
I know, right?
Like, this is so sad. And the episodes come out so slowly.
I know. Also, it doesn't help that that isn't actually that much this season that I'm actually watching.
Yeah. I'm watching that. I'm watching the dungeon one, whatever the fuck it's called, and where it's the girl's perspective this time instead of Belle's.
Yeah.
And that's like it. I'm also kind of watching the like Magic Academy one, but only kinda.
I'm watching the Alice one because that's cute as shit. Recreators is good. And I am back into Dragon Ball Super because the Tournament of the Universe is about to start.
Oh yeah,
That sounds cool.
yeah. I haven't been keeping up with Super because
And Berserk. And Zero.
The new Berserk is such crap. Don't even. Stop it.
Fuck you.
It's trash. It's trash.
Suck a
Meanwhile-
dick. It's amazing. I love it.
Meanwhile, I think everyone is back. Am I correct?
Hey, listen, I know a lot of people give shit about the 3D.
Yeah,
That's
no,
why
it's trash. 3D
Here's
is
the thing.
trash.
I don't care because I just want Berserk to continue.
3D is trash. Not
Fuck
worth
off.
continuing.
You guys are quite
Vocal.
Yeah, I was going to say
Opinionated.
yeah, sure. That's what I was going to say.
Also,
Erotic.
I happen to think that the 3D style works for Berserk.
I happen to disagree with you.
Well, you're wrong. Get away from my food, dog!
Wait, you can't just disagree with someone and then ignore their opinion of it. But I mean,
You do you.
The fake facts.
alternative facts.
Yep.
Anyways,
Fact is, it sucks.
Fact is, you suck.
Okay, so welcome back, everybody. Glad you all could be here.
Glad to be back.
indeed.
Fucking
Hi, Jordan.
amazing.
Indeed.
Anyways,
So, let's start with a conversation between Daniela and Aelin as Daniela re-enters the tent. What's the like look on your face, Aelin, right after Morella leaves?
Worried.
Okay. So yeah, she probably like walks in and like kind of picks up on that and sits down and kind of waits for you to start.
I think she sits there for a long moment, and I actually think that before she starts the conversation with Daniela, I think she just says, "Now, before you say anything,"
Sure.
and I think that she says, "I think we should pray."
I think Daniela just nods and joins her hands in yours to pray.
I think that Aelin uses Daniela's power and strength to call upon her actual lady to ask her some questions. I think they need some guidance.
Okay. Is there anything specific you're like asking about? Okay, you're gonna commune. Okay. So, kind of absorbing Daniela's power in this, you feel like the presence among you, right? Like you enter a state of bliss in which you can sense like this overwhelming calmness around you, and you know that In that moment, you have your lady's ear.
Yeah, and I think I almost feel as though it functions kind of abstractly, almost as if it's not words, it's more images that are passed between the two of them.
Sure.
I don't think it's kind of like a nirvana type state.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that the first question, I use in air quotes, that Aelin would ask is if she has her blessing to marry Lord Cahill.
Ooh.
No. Shows you pictures of dead babies. Sure, but he's shooting blanks.
So I think that you ask the question and you receive back a confusing answer and realize that it is not a question that can be answered with a yes or a no from Shalia.
Okay.
So you still have 3 questions, but that one in particular gets kicked back and says, this is not a yes or no question from Shalia.
Try again.
Right,
Try
which
later.
probably means one of 2 things, right? It either means that Shalia has no opinion on it, or like she thinks it's not for her to decide. Right? Like that's
Sure. Mm-hmm. All right.
probably one of the 2 things.
So my next question would
You
be, would it be in accordance with her path to accompany Morella on her mission?
You receive a yes. So since we're doing answers and images, you get that overwhelming kind of feeling of yes, and then there's an image of a dark, stormy figure with glowing blue eyes.
Damn it!
Jackson, can you either push to talk, please, or mute yourself?
So sorry.
Thanks. Yeah, you get an image of that entity at the end of the yes.
I think that leads perfectly then into my next question. How do I want to word this? Is it part of your prescribed destiny for me to deal with this entity? And I would just show her the image back.
Yeah. You receive a yes, and then you see there is the there's a scale, a weight scale, and on one side rests like the image of Shalia, and then on the other side rests that entity, and they are perfectly in balance. But it is a yes.
Okay. And then I think lastly and always will be her final question is am I in your opinion a proud disciple of your holy word?
The answer is yes. Obviously, and I think the image that you were shown is of you back in the temple at Nuln with the statue of Shalia and praying with kind of like, you know, the light shining down on you and that kind of image. But it is a yes.
I think with that image, I think she breaks connection and probably opens her eyes and just stares at Daniela.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that Daniela was privy to that?
I think probably since you were combining forces, she caught snippets, but did not receive the answers. Like, maybe she caught flashes of imagery,
Yes.
but
yeah,
not not anything specific like you did.
Sure. Yeah, so then I would turn to Daniela and just say, it seems as though... Bless you. Our Lady has said it is more or less in her will for me to go with Morella. Now, I know what you are going to say, but I feel that this is what she wants.
I think she looks at you and she shakes her head and she goes, "It is not me you must convince anymore. That time has passed."
I know. Heavy sigh.
Yeah.
She just says, I think I have someone I need to talk to.
Indeed. I wish you luck, for I cannot be any assistance. Know this. If for whatever reason you do not go, I will still be in attendance.
Yes, I know that I can always count on.
She just gives a nod. And I assume you gather yourself and depart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, did anybody else have anything that they would like to do? Morella, did you figure out if there's anybody else you would like to ask?
I mean, should go ask Baron.
Yeah, cool. So, Farron is being kept in the open quite well. You probably see him being effectively dragged through the... it's probably... In fact, you probably find him in town, and you can see Mel has a hold of him, and she's like looking over like a vendor that has like some fresh fruit and vegetables like sitting out on their stand, and she's like holding on to Farron, who's like kind of like idly looking around, and she's like speaking with the merchant about the wares, and that's where you see him.
She's maybe spent over 50 gold just on random stuff, just because.
Yeah, no, and she none of her money, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Farron's paying for it all.
Yeah, so I suppose Murillo watches this for a bit before engaging, finding the right social opportune time to engage the two.
Appropriately, you see Farron being drug around the marketplace, over here and over there, occasionally reaching into his piggy bank to purchase things.
Yeah. And eventually they probably like stop, or for whatever reason, maybe she wants to eat an apple or something of that damn sort. And Marla just clears her throat as she's kind of behind Farron at this point. Farron.
Lady Morella. What brings you here?
Oh, taking a stroll. I'm still waiting on Aelin and Daniela's response. Other than that, though, I suppose I'm walking to clear my head for a bit. You two seem to have fun as she like looks over at Mel. Get quiet. All right.
Mel kind of like looks at you, like glances at you, and gives you kind of like a. She probably gives you a smile and a nod, and goes back to perusing whatever wares. But she disengages from Farron so that you can speak freely.
Oh. Yeah, and then she pulls you aside, Farron, probably towards like the beginning of a small alley, and just simply says, "Well, I suspect that I know your answer already, but I will still ask. Will you accompany me on this mission?
Of course, Lady Morella. This is the one task I definitely shall do.
she simply nods and she kind of looks off in the distance and she's like, before we go though, I need to ask you another question.
Yes, Lady Marilla.
If you did have a favor in mind, what favor would that be?
That favor would be for us to part on the best of terms, my lady.
Oh? Is that simply it?
I've managed to get a few things to work, and that is all I can hope for from you now, my lady.
She looks disappointed by your answer, but tries to hide it. And she simply says, huh. Alright then. Then that is your favor.
Yes, my lady.
She nods and she's like, well, I'll talk to you soon, Farron. I'm sure I'll have to get the others and see whether they have their answers for me or not. And then she like looks over at Mel and she's like, try not to spend too much coin. You might need it when you come back.
I think she says, oh, don't worry, it's not mine. And says, Farron, I have something else.
She smirks.
Of course, Mel.
She smirks and like begins walking away, muttering under her breath, I wasn't speaking to you, Mel.
Yeah. Okay.
As, yeah, I walk away.
Alright, fantastic. So, what about everybody else? Does anybody else have anything they need to take care of before we progress? Obviously, Aelin does. But anyone besides Aelin have anything they need to take care of before we progress to the answers and coordination of this?
Actually, I want to go to Obek, Farseer Obek.
Yep.
And I actually want to pass him the weapon of Chotek.
Okay. How do you do that?
I mean, I call him out. I call him to my tent.
Yeah, he attends and he probably shows up and pulls the flap aside and he says, "Yes, leader."
And I have the lance and it's case, it's box. It's not out. And I place it on the table in front of him and I say, "Take this with you. It's going to be dangerous. And you are one of my men. Take care of it and bring them all back, okay?"
Yeah, and I think he probably he shakes his head and he's like, "Leader, I could not. It is not mine to wield."
But it is Chotek's will that we bring the city back.
Yeah, and there's a long moment where he probably just stands there and regards the box in front of him, and he's like, what if I should fall? What would happen?"
Then the weapon will find its way back home. You need not worry about that.
"You do me an honor, great leader." And he gives you a very low bow.
Good luck, Farseer.
Yeah, and he says, "The luck will be with us, as Chotek now rides with us." And he kind of awkwardly, with the box underneath his arm, gives you a salute and kind of walks out and probably like looks dumbfounded, like looking around, like not knowing what the hell to think about this whole thing. Yeah, and he dumbfoundedly walks off into the distance.
Damn, I don't think I could have done that. Giving him a badass weapon.
Well, hey, even if he can't use it, that's some motivation right there.
Mm-hmm. He will defend that with his life. Certainly. Okay. Anyone else? Or do we progress to Aelin approaching her betrothed?
So, have I learned from Dane yet that he's getting married?
You probably have learned on your own at this point that there is something afoot. Either from Dane or just via listening to people talk.
I had the perfect wedding present.
Okay. What is that?
Oh,
Is that something you look to do now, or are you just considering it for later?
I'll give it to him when the time is right. I've had it for a while, and I never knew when I should use it, but when such a time filled with love in the air, I feel like now is the right time.
Yeah, seems great. Alright. So, Aelin, how do you look to approach this situation?
Honestly,
Yeah.
Aelin is not one to bury the lead. She knows how pressing this matter is. She knows that Morella needs an answer, so she's gonna do what she has to do.
Okay. So you find him in his tent. He appears to be in a joyous mood. And when he sees you, it only gets happier. And you're barely inside of the tent fully when he is embracing you and greeting you and says, "Ah, Dove, it is good that you have come to see me. There are many things we must discuss."
Yes, there are many things we need to discuss.
And he's like, "Come, sit. Do not be on your feet. I would not have them too tired." And he like pulls out a chair for you and you sit down, and he pours some water probably for the two of you.
Darling, before this goes any further, I need to tell you something.
Yes, anything, of course.
Morella has come to ask me a question.
Oh?
And she just kind of stares at him, seeing if he will make the connection.
He's in a euphoric state. I don't think that he does.
This is good.
Yes, well, she is, leaving on that mission, yes?
Yes, yes, she's gathering people for the important mission, the one that's going to Middenheim.
Yes, darling, why don't you come sit down for a moment, please?
Yeah, and I think that he brings over the water and sits down in his chair, and he just kind of like looks at you, still oblivious.
She has asked me to go with her.
Oh, yes, well, very well. Wait, I'm sorry, what did you say?
She has asked me to go with her.
Oh, well, I'm sure that is no problem that you have refused, of course. There is much planning we must do.
I have not refused.
Well, certainly you have not said yes. Why delay? It is but a simple no.
Darling, you must see past our wedding. There's bigger things at hand here.
Why, of course there is. This is as much for us as it is for the men. After this, we will march gloriously on Middenheim, and I will have you at my side.
I don't think that is the best place for me. I have spoken with my lady. It seems as though there's a bigger place for me at this task. Remember that shadowy figure that I spoke of? The being that attacked me.
Yes, and it is one I cannot wait to introduce myself to. I am certain that we will bandy words about before I slay it in utmost certainty.
'Tis not a burden for you to slay. 'Tis one that I must deal with myself.
Nonsense. Anything can be killed.
Darling, you're not hearing me. This is for me to do, not you.
Yes, well, should it come upon you, at least I will be at your side to assist you.
Unless you are coming with Morella, then no, you won't.
Roll me a yeah, probably persuasion in this instance.
Man, I wish I had inspiration.
Oh, wow.
Not. I feel as though when she says this, possibly a sort of golden light comes from behind her eyes, a tiny bit.
I think that a 19. He falters for a moment, perhaps like dribbling a little water out of his goblet onto the ground, and he gives you a very long look. And you see that he cascades through a range of emotions, starting with perhaps confusion and moving through. There's clearly a bit of anger in there, and then a bit of probably some disbelief as well. But I think you see him end on identifying the tone in which you are using finally, and simply stating, he sets the goblet down back on the table, and he looks at you very seriously, and he says, "Know that you said you have spoken with your goddess, and this is what she desires."
Helen just gives a low bow.
Yeah, and I think he says, "Know this, betrothed, there will be no forgiveness in my heart for anyone, deity or not, should you not return to me. They say it is hard to hunt down those which are divine. I will find a way."
Helen smiles, and she just says, "We will always find a way. Of that, I am quite certain."
Yeah, and I think he leans back and kind of looks away from you, perhaps, and like there's a bit of coldness in his stature at that. Perhaps a bit of betrayal in this moment that he is feeling, but he understands that he is reserved, and perhaps actually roll an insight check before I give you this last part. See if you are able to identify what happens here. Yeah, 19's good. you realize that it appears he is, for the first time, understanding that he will never come first, and that is not something that Lord Anthony Cahill deals with well. As a man who strives to be at the forefront of every single person's mind, understanding and realizing that he will never come before anyone, or before, your work, has kind of tilted him a bit. And kind of led him down this, to be as kind of off-put as he is.
Yeah, seeing that, Aelin hurt him, and obviously she knew that would happen, but she did what she had to do. I think she would just, if he's kind of giving her the cold shoulder, I think that she would make it nigh impossible for him to do that, and
Sure.
takes both of his hands in hers and makes sure that he's looking right at her, and she just says, "I love you. Forever. Please know that."
Yeah, and I think that you see the expression soften, but you see his face soften, but not his eyes. And he probably says, "Yes, I know. And you know that I will always love you as well. I have many preparations to make, especially in your absence. If you don't mind, I would like to begin them."
Aelin just nods and drops his hands.
Yeah, and I think that you do the thing, right, where you go to the exit and turn back and look, and you can see he's kind of like staring down at the table, and he's kind of resting his hands on the top of his head and massaging his temples a little bit. But he glances up, and just before you depart, he gives you kind of a sad smile that seems genuine, and I assume you depart.
Begrudgingly.
Yeah. And so you go to Morella, who I assume can be found at her tent, perhaps.
Yeah.
With Daniela.
Yep.
And you arrive, and how do you approach that conversation, Aelin?
I think that right before, you see Aelin about to walk into Morella's tent, she clearly is wiping tears from her eyes.
Yeah.
And kind of adjusts her hair and face and just steps through the tent door.
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, Daniela, hello. Yes, I won't keep you waiting any longer, Morella. I will be coming with you."
Yeah, we see Morella sitting at what we can assume is a desk of sorts with her normal ink and quill as she's facing away from you, and we just see her slightly turn around, and an unusual sight is there is a single tear streaking down her face as she wipes it away, and she's like, "That is good." I assume Danielle is coming along with.
Yeah, and I think Daniela just gives you a nod and says, "Yes, because unfortunately I cannot trust anyone to watch her but me."
I don't think I'd have it any other way. Thank you. And she turns away then.
Yeah, and I think Daniela probably opens a tent. Do you leave with Daniela, Aelin?
Yes. I think she just walks out.
Okay. Yeah, and Daniela escorts you away, and Marilla, or I should say Farron, I assume that once you've been released, perhaps you go back and see what your liege lord needs, since you have been absent all day.
Yeah.
Okay. So Farron arrives, Marilla. What do you say to him?
Do you make an entrance, Farron? Or do you just slip
Farron
in?
always makes an entrance.
Greetings, one.
You're welcome for that, by the way. I set you up for that one.
Greetings.
There's like a brass band and...
Yep.
Of course. But,
Lady Morella, is there anything you'll be needing come tomorrow?
she probably, like, sits up more. She was slouching before. As, it seems like she's, she clears her throat. And she only gives you a slight tilt of the head to, like, look over towards you. And she says, just be ready in the morning.
Yes, ready. Sleep well.
But before you go,
Yes, my lady.
and she stands up and grabs your hand and pulls you inside the tent. You are sleeping here tonight.
Sure, my lady.
Yeah. And yeah. And she immediately gets ready for bed, quote unquote, and she's like, I actually need rest. It will be a long, arduous task ahead. I do believe a good night's rest is what I need.
Good. So I'll just be on the floor over here.
Yeah. And
appropriate.
she's just like, you don't need to be.
You are still a noble woman, my lady, and I am still but a common pauper.
If it helps, I am assertively suggesting that you sleep with me.
Fuck me.
I'll remind you what you got in trouble for earlier today. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, then you might have missed it. Was that discrimination?
Yep. It's okay. Calm down.
Deep breaths.
It is okay, my lady. I have done my fair share of roughing it. Just make sure you sleep well tonight.
And she doesn't let go of your arm. And she tugs it a little bit more. And another tear comes down her face. Please.
God damn it.
Well, you're gonna fuck Dalton.
I sheepishly lay on the edge of the bed, like the very edge, kind of almost falling off point.
Yeah. And obviously she immediately pulls you, like lies down on the other side, but pulls you towards her and rests her head on your chest.
Sleep well.
And by the time you said these words, she's knocked out.
I forgot. Holy fuck.
And that's the longest, most awkward night I think Foreign has ever had.
Yeah,
Whilst
and
his arm just becomes dead.
yeah, just to make it that much more awkward, we see the shot of Mel like sitting in a tree, like not too far away, just like kind of swinging her leg back and forth as it's hanging over the edge. With like she's doing the thing where she's swinging her right leg down and her left leg's like propped up, and she's just like watching the tent from a distance, and, like peeling an orange.
God damn it.
With a claymore.
I was gonna say, and a dagger.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, she's peeling it with the dagger. She's cutting through the skin.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and she's doing a thing where she eats it right off the knife, right? Like, eats the orange slice, like, immediately off of the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Dawn breaks, and your little troop of ne'er-do-wells has been assembled. Now, Jericho, where do you assemble these supposed... Where do you tell or notify them that they should meet? Because you have a place to go, but a place that you're going from is perhaps
Yes. So
a
his
different
concern.
story.
Yeah. So it doesn't take that long to perform the ritual, but he wants to do it in a place where there will be minimal chance of anyone observing them, or indeed realizing that they've disappeared.
Yeah. So do you want to... actually, you know what? Do me a favor. Roll me an investigation roll to see how good of a place you can find for this... to perform this function.
Now, let's use the inspiration on that.
Okay. Eh, 18's not bad. Yeah, so I think you do find certainly a sufficient place to be able to perform the ritual. There's so many, like, scouts and stuff out, like, in the woods and surrounding areas, because we're constantly monitoring for baddies, that it's probably not the smartest idea to try and sneak everybody out. But I think that you probably find a sufficiently vacant, like, loft, in a house, or perhaps in the tavern even, that is very low traffic, so nobody's going to walk in on you guys. It's somewhere where nobody would be conspicuous in attending, like going in to get something, or to gather supplies or whatever. And so yeah, you find a decent place to perform this ritual. Because it also will leave something behind as well, right? Like that's the
Briefly,
yes. For a few moments, we need to make sure that you are fully gone, and it is fully gone before identification can be made.
Once he's gathered people, he would want to sort of break down the details of the situation for them, and also do a quick head count. So we have in total...
in total, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 people, I believe. If my math is correct.
Okay.
And that is, and let's just run down the list. There's 5 of you, right? 5 PCs out of 6. Then Daniela, Mel, Kira and Malia, and for the skink Farseer Obek.
Right. Yes.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
the 10 assemble.
The 10, yeah, indeed, the 10 assemble. And introductions are made. I assume Farseer Obek like goes around and introduces himself to everybody that doesn't know who he is. Everybody obviously knows Mel. Daniela, this is her first time meeting Jericho. And so there's probably, I think, Jericho, you get the impression that she doesn't trust you, but she also gives off that impression to everybody. So
Nope, you cut out again for exactly the wrong moment.
you get the impression she doesn't trust you.
Yeah, I'm used to that.
But you also get the impression she doesn't trust anybody except for...
He's not going to take that personally. People have been mistrusting him since he was a kid.
Correct, yeah, absolutely. Kira and Malia are fighters. You know, they're here to do the job. They're here to walk in and kick some ass and take some names. So as far as your force is concerned, or your brute, as you so aptly called it before, they'll definitely work well as the front line, should it be required. And you know rumors of spear maidens from Kislev. They are a dastardly
I'm sure he's
bunch.
got a ballad or two.
Yeah.
Hard to pronounce, but still good music. And not only a cleric, but also the high priestess of Shalia from Altdorf.
Well, and right,
the
the
Lord
high paladin of
Cahill's-
Shalia as well.
Yes, the paladin and the priestess, and simultaneously Lord Cahill's new betrothed. This is unexpected. You're not concerned that anyone's going to notice that you're missing?
Wait, you're getting married?
The head lean forward down the line, her head turned to Farron.
Specifically, Farron has been indisposed the entirety of the day that was announced.
Also, real quick, would I have heard this conversation through Dane that Aelin had with...
Certainly.
Yeah, and you should have seen what she did to him.
Head turn by Aelin in the other direction towards Hannibal.
I was there.
Right,
Sorry.
So this is... Really?
That was harsh.
I thought ladies of the cloth had to wait until after marriage for that.
Aelin just like shakes her head with like, what the fuck is happening right now?
Well, and
Jericho's trying to figure out
specifically-
how he so instantaneously lost control of this meeting.
100%.
Yeah, and the best part is that is so incorrect for Priestess of Shalia. They are encouraged to marry and produce life at all points in time. That's like the culmination of the teachings of Shalia, is to cherish life and invigorate it wherever you can, and becoming married and having a family is totally within those tenets.
Which is ironic, because you totally crushed his.
Okay, listen, we are getting married, just not right now. Okay.
Man, you should have seen him this morning, too.
Right, so, the point.
He was, like, so happy.
I'm sorry. And who might you be? You seem to know who I am. I don't seem to know who you are.
Right. Terribly sorry. I keep forgetting who I haven't introduced myself to. Jericho Tannheiser, sometimes bard and frequently helpful magician? The point being in this case that I'm the one who's going to be opening a portal for us from this room directly into the heart of Middenheim. I believe we're going to be arriving in, I suspect, a secret chamber in, what was it, a temple?
Yeah, so it's actually going to be in, like, the tunnels beneath, right? Because you would have needed a place to kind of secretive away so nobody found it.
Right. Okay, so likely beneath the a specific temple?
Probably beneath one of the temples, yeah, totally.
Right. So, our arrival will be in the tunnels, which I assure you are more hospitable than they look or smell. I grew up there, it's fine. And best of all, least likely to be observed. Now, to be clear, this only goes one way. I can bring us all into the city. I can't just blink us all back out if things go wrong. So, again, be very sure you want to get in, and it's only going to open for a few seconds, so don't hesitate when it does. Right?
Sorry, what?
Fantastic. I'm going to open a portal. Go into the light.
Hannibal looks away, kind of like just lackadaisically.
That is Hannibal for you. I think we all understand. Jericho.
Fantastic. Right, everyone out of the center of the room. This is going to take a minute.
Yeah.
No.
So everybody collects in the center of the room, and you're doing that thing like if you've seen Harry Potter and or read the books, and you know when they're like waiting for the port key to activate when they're going in the fourth book to the Triwizard Cup. You're all kind of like standing there, like maybe some people are like linked in arms, and you're just kind of like awkwardly standing around, like looking at each other.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be something. Marilla leans into Farron's ear and just simply whispers, I swear to God, if you tell anyone what happened last night, I'll end you before the demons do.
Why are you like this?
The best character.
And so we hear gulp from Farron, I assume, and I think like perhaps also during this exchange, Mel leans in and says, "So, did you have fun last night, Farron?"
Yeah. It's also
What?
Everybody knows what everybody else is fucking doing.
yeah. And
I mean, I know Farron probably has deserved all of this, but he really regrets having to be in this rock and hard.
Yeah, and I think your mouth opens to say something, and then pop, you're gone.
I mean, it does take a minute to form the circle, but he's probably been doing that while they've been
Yeah, right, yeah. I assumed you were doing this, like, drawing in chalk or whatever around them and all this other fun stuff. And then you guys appear, and are those of you that don't have dark vision are thrown into blackness. Because obviously there's no light anywhere to be seen. Now, I just have to make a couple of preparations here very quickly.
Now, in the meantime, there was something else that she would say.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, I haven't cried in front of a man since my mother passed.
Yeah, lay the awkward on him.
Oh yeah, totally laying the awkward on him.
Also, the moment we get in there, I'm going to like tap my head and say to Dane, "Tell Cahill we've arrived."
Also, I have to ask you a question, Hannibal. Are you bringing John?
No, he would be liability in this situation.
Okay.
Let sweet baby John live.
I have to ask the questions. You understand, of course.
Yeah, no, like if I brought him along, I left him there because he would die if I brought him.
Yeah, he may not be the only one. We'll certainly see about that. Considering you all have just teleported into the heart of the enemy. And
yeah,
and
now, like I said,
pay the consequences, of course.
I sent the telepathic message to Dane to tell Cahill we've arrived.
I feel like at almost that exact moment, Aelin does the same thing.
Yeah. Your like hands are in your pockets. Like,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. And let's see. Is everything good here?
Cahill is my bae. Get away.
He may be after what I did to him.
Literally married. Yeah.
I don't know. He made me not appreciate what comes
Have
back.
you seen what Hannibal looks like under that mask?
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm stunning as shit if I didn't have all this.
Broken heart on the first day. It's kind of rough.
That's a great way to start a marriage. I don't love you as much as I love my God.
I mean, he knew that.
I mean, he met me in a church. I feel as though he kind of should have known that going into it.
And for being fair...
Saying that is like saying that they should have known I love McDonald's more than him. He met me there.
That's actually a
Literally
good
the
point.
high priest.
That is, I mean, I might have to side with Jackson on this one. It is kind of this... No, I'm just kidding.
I agree.
You're just a strong, independent woman a millennia before your time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or literally an angel. So.
He's a big boy. I'm sure he'll get over it.
And if not, he just ruins the entire empire. So
Let me
what's
just
the
make sure
big
you guys
word?
aren't going to see anything that I don't want you to see.
Also, remember,
Okay,
I
no,
have
we're
dark
good.
vision.
I don't know, Jackson. Can you see? Oh wait, I can't actually see anything. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Okay, now I can.
I can see.
I too have dark vision. Oh, just
There we go.
Yeah, look in the bottom right.
like the farthest bottom corner.
Mm-hmm.
God damn, why are we back here?
So, because I only have a couple of different map packs. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
If we want to break the fourth wall, that's how we do it. So,
Blatantly and unrepentantly.
yeah, absolutely.
My immersion.
You arrive, and Jericho, I need you to make me a perception check.
Fantastic.
I know you're good at these, so hopefully.
Thankfully.
Just a little bit good.
27, good.
My crit fail is an 11.
Yeah, right. That's the funny part.
Immediately, something is wrong. You realize very quickly that you're where you're supposed to be.
Start.
And you know this place very well. You can navigate in and out, but you grew up in these tunnels, and you can just tell when there are things amiss. And it smells just a little bit worse than it did the last time you were here. And not because things are just getting worse. You can almost sense the presence of something within this tunnel system that requires your attention. Now you'll notice there are 10 creatures on the map. I have given the respective people who I would assume could control these based on their narrative application. I have given you control over their character sheets under the NPC section. Just so you know. Just in case anything happens, and you are required to use them in any way, shape, or form.
Awesome.
So, for clarification, Farron, you should have control over Mel.
Yes.
Excellent. And Megan, you should have control over Daniela.
Indeed, I do.
And Liam, you should have control over Kira and Malia. They're on the same character sheet because they're the same identical person. Yeah, just roll off their character sheet for either of their.
I only have control of one token though.
Okay,
Good point.
I'm a little bit sad now that I didn't bring John.
That's why I asked if you were bringing John.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't, because he would die, no doubt. He's level 1.
Well, yeah, no, this is also so that when you kill these characters, it's not my fault.
No, I left him behind. He's with the Amber Order now.
And Brian, you should have control over Farseer Obek.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. So, they are, and notably, I'm just going to say this just from a mechanical standpoint, out of game real quick. They're not PCs. They don't have all of the awesome, cool stuff that you do. The only thing notable, I think I actually have to put this in because I don't think it's actually there. Yeah, I do. Okay. I just gotta put Daniela's Smite in there because I didn't have that in there, actually. So, I'll get to that in a second. Doesn't matter right now. Also, Daniela uses the greatsword, not the longsword and longbow. That's just left over from the token I copied it off of.
Okay.
So, awesome. Jericho, you realize something is amiss. Something is afoot.
Everybody be quiet. Do you smell that?
It smells rank in here, guys. Like, it's bad.
I smell everything and nothing.
Slightly more everything than there should be. Alright, what's wrong? Something's off here. Probably not just a smell of teleportation circles.
Yeah, not the smell of burning flesh, right? Like, from the, rapid transit teleportation.
When he says something is wrong, I draw my rod.
Yeah, totally.
My rod. Ow.
Just whip that out.
For blam.
Obek just always has his bow out.
No.
To take my rod out. It's like, shaklow!
Yeah. As the group of you stands here, you see a light begin to hover in this direction.
Oh, you fuck!
All of you roll me a stealth check.
Lol.
I remember that bullshit.
Why?
I mean, if I had to guess, I would say it's because he doesn't actually like us.
Alright, I'm going to use my inspiration.
Okay.
Man, I don't know if I should now, but I already said it.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. I don't think it's gonna matter since Aelin rolled a 2. So this creature, this floating, glowing light that is...
I had used my inspiration on it.
Jesus, good thing. It sees you. It turns, and the light kind of flashes and pulses a little bit. And then you hear a shriek. I would like everybody... Not just yet, hold on. Let me get rid of this.
I really regret saying I used my inspiration on it when you guys immediately started rolling the 9s and the 2s.
I would like everybody to roll me some
I didn't roll
initiative,
bad.
please.
You assholes made me waste my inspiration.
Well, that sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Oh, baby.
Wow, I'm not rolling one.
Aha! Obek's good.
Ka-chow.
Man, I gotta scroll down for this one. I haven't used these guys in a long time.
Clear chow.
Okay, cool. Alright, so... let's sort descending. Farsi or Obek actually gets to go first. Oh, well, hold on. Yeah, also remember to roll for your other people as well. For obvious reasons.
So, oh wait,
Yes.
Creed did not come, right?
Kree is
Nope.
not here.
Okay.
We got Obek.
Oh yeah,
We
okay.
do have Obek.
Brian
He's
just
just
likes
like this.
splitting up the party as much as he can, for any reason.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Place
whatsoever.
Chester, splits up the party. Wait, hold on. Let's place the Chaos Goliath, splits up the party.
Did no such thing.
Place
No,
Marcus, goes out drinking with Setch, splits up the party.
I mean, we
It's a
were all
trend.
split at that point.
I'm seeing a trend though with Brian.
Also, think you're crazy.
So what does Farsi or Obek do when this creature screeches and has identified this group of ne'er-do-wells in his cavern?
It's this one up here, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So obviously, he's going to hide behind the wall and take a shot with his bow.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oof.
he is
An 8.
ill prepared in this cavern.
Yeah, no, I think it's caught you off guard, and an 8 is obviously not a hit. Why are there 3 instances of this open? Hold, please. I am doing a concern. Sorry. Okay. Yes, you miss, unfortunately. Kira Malia, they act on the same turn. They act as a unit. What are they gonna do?
I think they're probably going to move ahead just to take up defensive positions.
Okay.
Front line seems like how they would do, so...
Indeed.
Go forth, meat shields.
Me shields engage.
Just move to there and, I guess, dodge.
Okay. All right, they're going to dodge.
Be ready.
Aelin, it has clearly spotted you.
Of course it has. I am the worst at stealth ever. I think that...
Honesty is the best policy, remember?
Remember? Yeah, I'm gonna definitely bless our front line here. Those going in, prepared to die, as it were. So
To those going in, we salute you.
Probably. Oh God, but Morella too. I can only pick 3. Well, Daniela, Morella, and then I'm gonna have to pick one of the spear maidens, which makes me feel bad. But that hurts. That hurts a little.
Do you prefer the halfling woman or the tall, dark, and handsome woman?
Oh God. Why don't we go?
Fucking
Why
handsome.
don't we go with the one closest to me?
Malia?
Why don't we go with Malia?
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
Purely by proximity.
All right, let's go ahead and...
So- Who is?
Kira's probably gonna have an easier time hiding anyway.
That's
True.
yeah, kind of what I figured.
all right, so...
Who'd you bless?
The human.
The human,
Malia
Morella, and Danielle.
and Daniela. Cool. All right. You gonna move, Aelin?
Yeah, I think I might move backwards to here.
Okay.
Step behind some people.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Jericho. Well, you now have a good idea of what may or may not be incorrect. It appears that, and you would know this, you've probably been hanging out in the city for some time as well.
Yeah.
They use these beings as scouts. Now, you're aware of what they are. You've fought them before, and probably are no
Yeah, that was a
stranger to them.
great time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I heard that it was a great time. I wasn't there for it myself, but I heard
you
that-
were. The crits.
You were them.
Yeah, you know they're used as scouts to kind of hunt down the resistance factions in this area, and you also know where there's one, there are more.
Yeah, so he will quickly rattle off what he can to the others. Right, flame skulls. Morella, you'll remember these. Let's
Yes,
see.
they burned my hair.
Right, so they swarm. There will be more. They're probably looking for us. With any luck, they won't send up an alarm immediately, but let's try to kill it quickly, and don't bother trying to put them out. They will shake off whatever kind of magic you can throw at them ice-wise.
And break.
But as for what his actual action will be, can only see the one, huh?
That is the only one that you can see at this moment.
Then I think, having said that, he is going to disappear entirely
Mm-hmm.
and start looking around, because he wants to find out where the others are.
Yeah, totes.
And that'll be it, because he's going to save the bardic inspiration to insult people.
Right. Yeah, the cool thing is we have the 2 different bards. We'll get to see their varying styles.
I mean, he's partly... Farron's partly a bard.
True. He is not full
Oh.
bard.
Oh. is
Also, that seems
That-
insulting.
That was a dig in case you didn't catch
Molly.
it.
expect
It was brief
arrow-
there, but did you catch?
Oh, man.
Jordan.
Jackson,
I
just
don't know.
understand you brought the best joke of the night.
Yeah, literally
Just
the
so
best
you know.
joke.
Yeah. But real quick,
Yeah.
did you get my message from earlier where I told you I cast blight into my rod?
Sure. Yes, sure. You can have that.
I did
I-
ask you a message.
No, I believe you. It's hard for me to track those things sometimes. So, it is Mel's turn, who is being controlled by Farron. play her how you want in combat. She's not one to be on the front lines, though.
No.
But she does have everything that you see on her.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she may fire a random shot at disadvantage just to see if she can make contact.
Seemingly out of nowhere, she produces a crossbow that is bite-sized.
Yeah.
13's a hit.
Ooh.
Excellently
So
done.
that's 4 damage.
Yep.
And then she darts into the shadows.
Does she have sneak attack?
She does. What did you roll for her stealth, by the way?
Well, I'm going to have a hide again because the last one wasn't too great.
13. 13 would not have given her a sneak attack, unfortunately, in this
Yeah.
moment. But you can have her hide now because she has that ability.
I thought that was for
16.
Farron.
He rolled twice.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Don't worry, I've got it sorted out.
So,
Glory. I got everyone playing multiple characters but me. It's great.
Hey, I don't either.
you, Hannibal, and technically Kree or Brian don't have multiple characters.
Heh.
Well, Brian just likes splitting up people.
Technicalities.
Okay, let's see. What are these things? Why does this keep... I'm having that thing where, like, even though I'm popping it out, it keeps closing for some reason.
Yeah, we know what it's gonna do. It's gonna launch a
Pop
fucking
out.
fireball. You don't need to fucking dress it up.
I mean, it certainly might do that. That is a thing that is within its capability, I think. 40 feet, that's what I was looking for. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna move to here. And then... Let's see, I have some things available to me. Oh, apparently I didn't write those in. That's fine. It's just gonna shoot some fire, I think.
Shocking.
And Kira appears to be the closest available target, so it's gonna shoot some fire at Kira.
Okay.
15, which I believe does not hit her. Nope, she's got a 17. So Kira brings up her shield and deflects the fire ray from striking her.
Pew pew.
It should be noted, all of this water is difficult terrain as well, just in case you were curious.
Oh, that is water.
It is.
Good to know.
Oh, we can
Yes,
actually
it's-
walk on it.
Yes. It's not
Also-
loud.
Yeah,
good
oh
to
yeah,
know.
no. It's difficult terrain is probably like knee high at the deepest point. So, yeah, no, it's water. You can totally walk over and through it.
I thought we'd have to swim.
Farron,
Oh,
it's your turn.
kind and generous DM.
No,
So
not that deep.
So you said 15 wasn't hit.
Yeah, 15 is not a hit on Kira. Kira has 17 AC. Because she has a shield.
I meant for the stealth roll at the very beginning.
Oh, yeah, you are not stealthed against this creature. It has a higher perception than that.
I may as well go kapow kapow for a nice solid 20 damage.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Well done, in fact.
Yeah, and I think I'm also then going to sneak into the shadows.
23 is good. It is certainly good. Okay. Creature appears to be it doesn't get bloodied, obviously, but it appears to be like kind of breaking apart a little bit. You see the flames are not quite as strong as they once were. In fact, to represent that, let me just shorten them. They are not quite as big as they once were. Hannibal, it's your turn.
Okay, I think it's kind of obvious what I'm about to do.
Uh-huh.
Got a little... Dane's not with me.
He is not.
He's just so used to having Dane along with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good point. Well, to be fair, I copied all the characters over here prior to knowing that, so.
I'm gonna fucking do Clack-a-chow against it. For Flow.
Not sure what spell Clack-a-chow is, but yeah. An 11 is not a hit.
For Cla.
A 22 is certainly a hit, however.
Push it back 10 feet
All right, back 10 feet it flies.
as I advance forward.
Creature looks very hurt, or at least disintegrating quite rapidly. Marilla.
Well, I'm gonna move up here. And I don't have any more arrows because Farron has all my arrows, so I can't make a bow attack. So,
I'm sure we could have retcons. Hey, have a small quiver of arrows in the 6 days we had.
yeah,
You might
but
have
never
wanted to
specified.
stock up again before leaving.
You can shoot if you want. I don't mind that.
Okay, I'll just say I have 20 arrows then. Okay, no. Say I have like 40 or anything. Alright, so yeah, I'm gonna just make some bow attacks.
All
Pew,
right,
pew, pew,
bow
pew,
attack
pew.
away. Certainly.
And 4 bless.
Hey, look at that.
So-
Your strike hits the you hear a sickening crunch as it strikes the skull, and it kind of cracks and falls into the water, and the light is no more. But we are not quite out of combat yet.
Indeed.
What is Daniela gonna do? Actually, roll a perception check from Daniela. Nope.
Nope.
She does not receive that information that I wanted to give her.
So then what she's gonna do is just back up and stand in front of Aelin and protect her from anything
is-
coming from the darkness.
That is her job. That is why she is here.
She will just hold an action.
Farseer Obek, can you roll me a perception check?
Yes, he can. He is actually super not okay at this.
True.
Hello?
15.
15
Oh,
enough for
sorry, you
her?
rolled a 15. I'm sorry. I thought that was typing. I apologize. That's my bad. So you can actually see this even without it. You see this light over here? Appears to be slightly greenish in tint.
Oh
Yay.
no. So, obviously Farseer, being the Farseer that he is,
Aptly named.
aptly named, is going to say, "Party! This way, there's a light." And, yes. He is going to scamper towards the light. Because scampering is what he does.
He does scamper. Correct. All right, fantastic. Are you gonna hold an action or do
I
something?
can hide.
Ah, nice. Well hidden. You are
Well hidden.
you are sneaky around that corner.
Good.
Kieran Malia,
Sneaky.
Farseer has advised you that there's some light coming down this tunnel way to the left. That's you, Liam.
Sorry. You've seen them where?
Down to the left. Farseer
Down
said there's some
there.
light down here.
Well, then that is clearly where they are going to charge.
All right.
Who had
And
light
as ever,
casted
dodging.
upon them?
Who had what? Sorry.
Light
Oh,
casted upon them in the very beginning.
I didn't actually cast that on anybody.
Yeah, not yet.
I have it, but I'm not going to use it.
I did put the spell card up, but we were immediately trying to be stealthy.
Aelin, it's your turn.
Well, I'm going to continue to uphold my bless, and I'm actually going to move to there.
Okay, excellent. Jericho, roll me a perception check. You're not in a great position.
It's okay.
To
I
have
would
a
have failed it.
perception.
It would have been fine. Don't worry about it.
So
It's not a big
Damn.
deal.
you can also see light coming from up here that appears slightly greenish.
Oh, so I can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, look at that. So, the shadows in the fake direction you saw Jericho in last also whispers, "Oh, good, more north."
Okay. And what
Maybe-
do you do?
I'll check that out. You just handle the ones that way, and he's just going to
Okay. Fantastic.
there and
You're not my supervisor.
It's a difficult terrain, so
So yeah, just double movement. You can walk along the edge just fine though. If you want to just skirt these 3 squares right here.
Okay, cool.
This is regular terrain. It's when you go off in this direction that it's bad.
Okay, so he will run up there, and yeah, he's got a much clearer line of sight to it now.
You certainly do.
If he doesn't say anything else there about there being more.
Okay. It is Mel's turn.
Yeah, I think Mel is just gonna keep round here and ready a crossbow bolt
Should anything come into
anything
sight?
come. Yeah.
All right, fantastic. So you see 2 of these heads coming in that direction. Floating down to there, you see another one. And they are going to take some shots. This one is going to shoot at Marilla. Wait, is 70 a good range? Let me just check.
If it's firebolt, I think it's 120.
Well, it's their actual like basic attack.
Ah,
So it's different. It's a fire ray. Let me
I
just
think it'd be 60,
check
wouldn't it?
on that. It might be 60. Let's
Yeah.
see.
Da, 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 da.
EF. Oh no, it is. It's actually even less than that. So that one cannot shoot. So he is going to dash instead. It's right there. And then these over here also can't shoot, so they are also going to dash. Which obviously grants a reactionary attack.
Yeah. So 16 was Mel's stealth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's appropriate.
So would that give me?
Yeah,
advantage?
you do get sneak attack and advantage,
so-
technically. Yes.
but that's still over range, so that's actually just a normal.
Right. So it'd be a normal
Still
attack.
6.
Hand crossbows are not meant for ranged combat.
Yeah.
I mean, they are, but they aren't. A 10 is unfortunately not enough to strike.
Doesn't she have advantage if she's hidden?
But it's also out of half range, or out of the effective
yeah.
range of a crossbow.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
She only has a hand crossbow, which is 30 feet.
Indeed, but they do not get anything to do. Farron Mackay, but it is your turn.
Indeed.